The Toronto Maple Leafs just wrapped Game 6 of the season with a 4-3 overtime loss to the Seattle Kraken, so here are a few of my quick thoughts right after the game. For starters, this team seems to lack chemistry all over the place right now. They can't get anything rocking with the forward lines. I'm not even sure Matthews and Nyes have chemistry, and they should have, because they've been playing together for a while now, and they haven't found anybody who can fit in on that top line alongside them. I don't think William Nylander is the answer. I do think Cowan has a really good chance if they would just continually keep putting him out there and allow them to build the chemistry, but the constant line swapping is not getting the job done. Second line even looks disjointed, and Matthias Michelli is really not fitting in with either of the top two lines, which is a pretty big shame because that's why they brought him in. Honestly, they are playing like a group of players that have just met for the first time 20 minutes ago and then got the task to go out there and try to win a hockey game. We got missed passes going everywhere, no chemistry as they approach the offensive zone, offsides, they're not standing up for their goalie. Just seems like a very discombobulated team, like they're all on different pages trying to accomplish different goals while skating on the same ice playing for the same team. It's just not working right now. I think we all expected that the first line in particular would have trouble finding chemistry after losing Marner this offseason, but it's become apparent 6 games in that there is a complete lack of chemistry there, which is kind of weird. I mean, we've seen it in past. Not everybody can just be thrust into that top line spot and be expected to play with a player like Auston Matthews, but you would think one of the players on the Leafs roster would be able to step up and form some chemistry with him. He's a very good player. He's very skilled, but the Leafs haven't found the right peg to place in that hole as of yet, and it's starting to become a pretty big problem when you're watching the games. Number 2, they need to learn how to defend Anthony Stolarz. We all saw it in the playoffs last year when Anthony Stolarz got knocked out with a concussion, and none of his teammates really came to his defense. It was a pretty big issue. Stolarz was gone, and they ended up losing the series to the Florida Panthers. Now that we're into a brand new NHL season, the Leafs need to be doing a ton more to defend Stolarz. He got bumped again in the game tonight versus Seattle, and he was the first one to really respond before any of his other teammates, and that shouldn't be the case. I understand it's only October, but set the precedent that nobody can touch your goalie or you're gonna beat the living crap out of them. It's that simple. That's like the golden rule of hockey. You touch the goalie, you're gonna get your face smashed in. The Leafs don't seem to be following that rule at all. Stolarz has been bumped into many times this season already, and he's getting pretty fed up. His post-game comments sounded like he really could use his boys to put some players in their place and tell them to stop touching him. Healthy Anthony Stolarz is going to be key for the Leafs this season. They're not scoring goals as frequently or as easily as they used to. Their defense is a little bit better, but it's still not great. They need Stolarz to steal them a decent chunk of games. He's looked good so far to start the season, but if you keep allowing teams and players to take liberties on him, he's going to get hurt and you're going to be without your number 1 goaltender, and then it's going to be a very long, very painful season. So start protecting your goalie. Next up, we got Nick Robertson. Honestly, at this point in time, what are we doing? Nick, what are you doing? Leafs, what are you doing with Nick Robertson? I've been rooting for this guy. I was hoping he would have a really good breakout year, really take the Leafs by storm. There's opportunities and holes in the roster, and so far, 6 games in, it's looking the same as it's always looked with Nick Robertson. He's a dog. He's tenacious on the puck. He battles hard, but it seems like it's always for nothing. He's always in the middle of things. He's always in that nitty-gritty, but nothing ever really comes from it unless the other team is scoring while he's on the ice, because that seems to be a pretty big theme of him so far. At this point in time, I'm ready to give up on the Nick Robertson experience. He works hard for absolutely no reason, and every now and then he'll get a lucky goal at some point, but there's just nothing there, and I think he very much needs a new change of scenery, and the Leafs need to move on from this guy because it is beyond frustrating watching him essentially do nothing night in and night out. The Leafs were flat out lucky to get 1 point against Seattle tonight, which is a damn shame because the Leafs are supposed to be a much better team than the Seattle Kraken. Seems the Leafs have a tendency to always play down to their opponents when they're playing a lesser team. It's going to be a tighter game. When they're playing the Floridas, the Tampa Bay Lightning, some of the better teams in the league, and especially their conference, they always play amazing. They raise that level. But when they're playing the Kraken, they're playing Montreal, they're playing Detroit, you're not going to get the best out of these guys. And Anthony Stolarz said it best after the game. For 2 periods, they literally walked all over the Leafs. At some point in time, the Leafs need to put things together and learn to play a full 60-minute game. There are 3 periods for a reason. You can't show up for 20 minutes and expect to get out of there with a W, no matter how well Anthony Stolarz plays. Those are a few of my super quick reactions from Game 6 of the Leafs. It's still early. Like I said, it's only Game 6. A lot of game left. But right now, this team is very, very frustrating to watch. Nothing's working. They don't look anything like the Leafs of last season, which I kind of expected, I'm not going to lie. Do have a lot of faith that once these guys figure it out, learn to play as a team, dig in, put a full 60 minutes of effort forth, they could be a really solid team that can make a very deep playoff run. But I think it's going to be a very painful, almost tough start to the regular season for fans to watch as these guys go through their growing pains and try to figure things out. Who's going to play on that top line? I do not know. Who's going to be the guy that's going to stand up for Stolarz? I do not know. What version of Morgan Rielly is going to show up every single game? Again, I do not know. He is very, very unpredictable. This Leaf team is going to be frustrating. They're not as fun to watch as they maybe have been in the past couple of years, but hopefully we can give them some time to put the pieces together, play as a team, and make a nice, deep playoff run, because that's what it's truly all about. Those are my thoughts on Leafs Game 6. Let me know down below what your thoughts are, my friends. My name's Caitlin. I absolutely love talking sports. If you like talking sports, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to join our community. It would mean the absolute world to me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.